Kairi is one of the many ride lines of the 6th nation, Lyrical Monasterio, and the only one in the nation to receive a trial deck. On initial release, Kairi was largely overshadowed by some of the more powerful ride lines such as Clarissa and Lornarol, but that changed entirely with the release of the 2nd Lyrical Monasterio booster set, which brought about the Grade 4 form of Kairi, Astasize Cross Live Kairi. This, to date, is the only Grade 4 available to the nation, and she sports two easy-to-use abilities. The first gives all rearguards that are called during that turn plus 5000 power, and the second helps to make that first skill stronger by letting you bounce 2 rearguards from your field back to hand and then call 2 cards from hand right after. Thus, you can either make 5 attacks per turn by bouncing your front row rears, or you can call a front and back row for 4 attacks with bigger power, or even 5 still with certain combo pieces. Just keep in mind that you do need a Kairi in Soul for this second skill to activate, so be extra careful in the prison matchup when Pure Light tries to snatch that Kairi from your soul. The Grade 4 Kairi is already great just within its own archetype called Astasize. One of the combo pieces that you can use with her is Laplume. Here, let's say you call her mid-battle phase from Kairi's effect. She will let you take the Kiora from your soul that you rode from the ride deck and call her out in front of her, which means that calling 2 cards off of Kairi's effect has already given you 3, and given each of them plus 5000 power while doing it. This card is also great on your first turn, as you can discard her for the ride deck, ride Nanami, who will call the Laplume back out, and the Laplume will call your grade 0 starter from your soul immediately, thus allowing you for potential early aggression and board pressure too. Another Astasize piece is Kiki. She lets you target a grade 2 or less Astasize in your drop and put it back to soul, and then optionally CB1 to gain plus 10,000 power for the turn, thus coming into play as a 28k attacker on top of your Kiora and Laplume column. Looking at just those interactions though, you're probably thinking, that's it? It's a 5 attack deck with power scaling? And if we stick to just the archetype, indeed you could call it that. However, Kairi found most success with the addition of the friend archetype. The friend mechanic is very simple. If you have a unit with a keyword in one column, the other unit in that column and that unit will both become friends. The main reason to use this archetype is Melty. When she's called during the main phase, you can counterblast 1 to call a card from hand and draw 1. This way, you're still deploying the same rears that you were going to play anyway, but now you also get the card in hand refunded as well. This is one of the biggest contributors to the deck, as it allows you to actually dig through the deck and find the combo parts like Laplume for stronger combo turns. On top of that, friends have a lot of powerful beaters and boosters. Larissa is a grade 2 that gains plus 2000 power for each of your other friends on board, which means that if your whole board is in the friend state, she'll be a 20k attacker, 25k with Kairi support, and 33k with a booster, asking for a 2-card guard. We also have Iveta, who is a 10k booster that usually sits behind the Vanguard, making Kairi a 23k Vanguard swing that asks for 2 cards for a 2 to pass as well. By having strong rears, a strong Vanguard column, and up to 5 attacks per turn that hit at big power, the deck gradually snowballs advantage by ripping out shield from your opponent's hand, or forcing them to guard early and stay on low damage throughout the early game, thus not having as much counterblast for the effects they may want to use, as they may want to bank on checking defensive triggers during the turn 4 and onwards Kairi turns. This deck makes use of the fact that the average shield value in standard is lower, thus oftentimes it'll ask the opponent to lose a bunch of combo parts from hand to guard the attacks, making it snowball even harder. However, there's one more generic tool that raises the pressure of Kairi even further beyond. Aileen is a generic grade 1 that when she boosts a rear guard allows you to check the top card of your deck and leave it either on top or bottom. Much like Hex Orb in standard or in OTT in Genesis and other formats, a card left on top by an effect like this will make the opponent expect it to be a trigger, forcing them to overguard the Vanguard and thus help Kairi snowball even more. Even after all these great cards, there's still space in the deck to add more defensive cards to survive against certain matchups, or generic deck searchers to find pieces when needed. To summarize, what makes Kairi strong is the following: consistent free multi-attacking, snowballing attack power, the friend engine, cohesive combos, and draw power together with triple drive. I hope this video has helped explain what makes Kairi a strong top tier competitor in standard, and some of the factors why Bushiroad has put the deck on the watch list together with Nirvana. Being on the watch list doesn't necessarily mean it'll be hit, as many decks have been on the watch list in the past and managed to dodge any hits for years. However, with there being even more incredibly strong Kairi support in the 3rd lyrical set, we'll see how things end up after the WGB season. With that, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.